Welcome to MacroCode. If you're new to this channel, consider subscribing. So today we are going to continue with our video of creating an employee app on .NET MAUI. So some of you guys have requested that we proceed with the video. So we had created some database on our previous video. So if you're new to this channel, consider watching the link below so that you can be able to watch and understand our previous video. So we have a database: employees, country, constituency, locations, sublocations, and village. So these are some of our tables. Then we have our database is called main database. So we had created some pages on constituencies list, country list, locations, sublocations, and villages. So we are going to create a CRUD app on .NET MAUI using SQLite. So previously I had created constituencies list, then we have the countries list, then we have the locations list, sublocations list, and the villages. So what I've done, so if you watched our previous video, I've actually segregated these into folders. As you can see, I've been able to group them. So under constituencies, we'll be having all the pages for constituencies, then countries will be having all the pages for countries, then locations, same thing, then sublocations, same thing, then villages, the same thing. So you can actually have them in folders so that you don't have a very huge list with some of the pages maybe alternating, or it is difficult to actually maintain the app. Then after that, under app shell, you need to actually borrow some of those pages. As you can see, we had only local. This is the namespace. For now, we have introduced country, then it will give us the link for the countries, then constituencies. Ensure that you have done this so that you can be able to use them on app shell. So on the app shell, under layout item, we will be going now to, in case you want to, for the data template, to specify the root, that is the countries list. So it is actually found under country, which is under views, then country. So you need to specify those so that you don't get an error. So I ensure that you have done this. And for each of the constituencies, you ensure you give it the correct name so that you can be able to navigate to those pages. Then another thing, under the MAUI program.cs file, so you'll see that for these pages, it is now under views, then countries, then country list. And the same for the constituencies location. So you'll actually borrow all the folders that it has. So I think that is all for what we had done before. So the next thing that we are going to do is to now create the list. So the list pages had an empty label. We had no data for the list. So countries, you can see we have nothing. Then location list, we have nothing. Then sublocations and the villages. So we are going to create a collection view that will hold our data. So the first thing that we need to do, we are going to create the view models for each of these pages. So under the view models, we are going to create the countries. So I'll create the view model based on the pages. So I'll recommend you do that so that you don't confuse the view models and the pages, so that every page has its equivalent view model. So I'll just create a new class. Then I'll say this countries. So ensure the names are the same, countries list, then add view model. So I'll do that for the first one. So this is our countries view model. So I'll do public. Then for the constituency, I'll also do the same. I'll create another constituency. So constituency list, then view models. So this is the view model for constituencies lists. Then I'll do the same for locations. So I'll say location list, then view model. So I'll do the same for the sublocation. So ensure you have created every page with its view model. So under constituencies, I'll do the same. This is public. Then, so I'll try to zoom so that you can be able to understand and see them. Then I'll create sublocation. So this will be sublocation list view model. So that is it. Then this is public. Then I'll do the villages. So I'll say villages list view model. Then this is public. So I've created the view models that resembles my views. So ensure you have all the view models that resembles the views. So under each of the pages, I'm going now to bind our views, our view model to the views. So for example, under the list, so under the list, under the countries list, I'm going to say here, I'll do private. So I'll say private countries list view model. Then I'll say this is view model. Then inside this constructor, so I can close this. So I'll say this dot bind context. Then I'll give it my view model. So I can actually say this, then I'll say is equals to, or I can do countries. I'll do this countries. I'll show why we actually have done this at the top, so don't worry, I'll show you why. So you can actually inject it here, then you say is equals to model. So you can do that. So I'll do that for each of these pages. So under constituency, I'll do the same. Private constituency view model. Then I'll say view model. So you can actually follow our video and create your own app based on what we are demonstrating. So if you are new to this channel, please consider subscribing so that you can be able to reach more people. Bind, and you can also comment down below what you will want us to be doing. So I'll say that, then I'll say is equals to, say view model, view model, then I'll say is equals to that. So after that, I'll proceed with the location. So I'll say private, then I'll say locations, location, view model, then model, then I will say this dot bind context is equals to view model, then I'll say is equals to model. That is it. Then I'll do the same for the locations. So guys, those who are asking the source codes, will be providing the source code, but only to the subscribers. So if you want to get the source code of this project, then please subscribe. We'll be sharing the source code to our members. So for the sublocations, so I'll say sublocations view model, then I'll say view model. So I want to give a shout out to Yasmina. So a big up. So we are doing this video so that based on your recommendation. So this is a view model. Then we'll say, so Yasmina, if you're watching, please comment down below. Then I'll say this model. So that is it. So I'll do the same for the villages. So I'll do private village list, then I'll say view model, then I'll come here and also inject this here. I'll say model, then I'll say this dot bind, I'll do that, then I'll say view model is equals to that. So after I've done that, we can try to launch our app. I don't know why it's taking too long. So our app is taking too long. So I'll cancel. Then I'll try to clean. I'll clean the app so that you're able to see what is going on. So after we have done those, added the view model, so the next thing I want you to do, guys, I want you to come to my program.cs. Then every view model that we have created, we need to actually register them. So I'll come here. So ensure you have registered every view model that you have created. So I'll start with the countries. So I'll say here, countries, view model, constituency, view model, then locations, view model. Then I'll also add sublocations, view model. Then I'll do locations list. I mean, yeah, that is the villages. Sorry, villages view model. So we have done that. So we have registered also the pages are already registered, you can see. So we have it here. So we have our view models there as well. So everything is should be fine. So for those who haven't subscribed and the returning subscribers, welcome back and remember to subscribe. So let's, our app is taking long. I don't know why. So let me try to clean. It is done, then we can rebuild. So it's rebuilding. So if you have any suggestion or comment, you can comment down below, then we will do a video based on your comment. So for those who are new, so we have our tables. We had created our tables, and to just give you a highlight on how the tables looks like, for example, the countries, we have the ID, which is auto incremental, then the code and the name. So we have our tables under models. So we have the village, which is also as the ID. We have the sublocation ID, code, and the name. Then locations, we have the location ID, code, and the name. And this is a primary key. We have locations, sublocations. So these are our tables. So we have so this is how we are creating our database. So you can actually register the database service on so you can see we have done it here. So we have it here. So this is has been registered here. Then under program, you can also relaunch it under when you are launching the app, so that it is able to create. The first thing to do is to create the database and the tables before you actually start the app. So you can actually register this here, then you can initiate it. So it will actually now come to the constructor, and it will actually do all this before you actually launch your app. So another thing to do is you can actually do wait. So you ensure that you wait for it to create the tables. So you can do wait async. So you can do wait. Let's do wait. Then also this one, wait, when you are now initializing the tables, you can also do here wait. So we can also do a wait. We can also do a wait. Then you can also do another wait here. So this is how you should do. So we have our tables here. So you'll be enhancing this as we progress. So So I'm trying to launch the app so that you can be able to see how our app look like before we proceed. So our app has launched. So you can see we have the navigation, the countries list, the constituencies, the locations, the sub-locations, and the villages. So as you can see, it is actually empty. So to begin with, we are going to create a collection view. So I'm going to copy something we have done for the countries. So this is our collection view. Sorry. So I'm going to create this. So I'm going to copy this. So I'll copy under the countries list. I'm going to replace it with what I've copied. So this is how it looks like. So you can actually use it. So something that I'm going to do is to actually now bind. So I'll go to the employees view model. So I'm going to copy one of the things here. So I'm going to copy, let's see. So under the countries list, we have the collection item source. So it is getting from employees. So we are going to copy the observable collection. So just come here, then we're going to paste this under countries view model. So we'll have a constructor, public countries. So let me just copy that here. Then I'll copy this. Then we do this. So this is our constructor. I'll copy that. So I'll do this. So this is our constructor. So here we are going to use the country model. Country, then we'll do a country model here again. Then here we'll say countries. So our item source will be now the countries. You can say countries list. So come to countries, then our item source will be countries list. Then the binding, here we are going to display only the code, then we can display the name. Then you can actually remove this, and you can also remove this. So that is how it should work. So the others, view model, we can specify the view model that we are using. So we can also have our title. I'll say title, we'll say countries list. So you can actually remove this gesture. We just leave that as it is. So this is our collection view for the countries. So we'll add a button under our countries. So we'll copy this, paste it here. So we can have here, we can say observable object. So we'll do that. Then here you can say add new country. So then the navigation tool, we are going to navigate to our, so we need to add a country page. So come to the country folder, then add a new page. So this will be new page. So we'll say add new country page. So that is add a new country page. So this is our new country page. So under the countries view model, so we'll add that here. So we'll specify add the namespace. Then we can actually add the page on our MAUI program.cs file. So we can register the view. So we'll do that. then we'll say page. So under countries, so we'll have that. Then under the page, that is fine. So if we go here, we have the add new country. So this will be add new country command under the list page. So we'll add this, then we say command, then we'll say the name is add country. So I'll show you guys. In fact, we can actually add this as a tooltip so that when you add a new country, we don't affect, we can have it at the top of our page. So to do that, we can actually have here, come at the top here, then you say content. So you can say content page. So we'll say content page tooltip, toolbar. We'll say toolbar items. So we'll say content page toolbar items. Then we can close it. So here we can now have our toolbar item. So you'll say toolbar item. Toolbar item, then we say text, say new country, say new country. Then we'll have a command. So you can copy this. We have it here. Then we can close it. Then we can remove this command. So if we launch our app, everything should be fine. So let's see. So we have an error somewhere. Let's see what is the error. So it says Marshall. So we can have this as partial. That's fine. We can launch this again. So when we click our button, it should be able to take us to the add new country page. But we have a collection of collection view with items. So that is the countries, and we want to display the code and the name. Then the collection view. So I'll show you how we add those items to the countries. So we can do the same for the locations, constituencies, sub-locations, and the villages. So what you can do, you can add as it loads. There it is. Maybe you can wait. We see. You can see if everything is working as expected. There it is. So it's launching. So you can see we have a button here. So when you come to countries, you see we don't have a list of countries, but at the top you can see the difference between the employees list. You have the button here, but for us we are having a tool by item. So this is also a button. So if you click this, it will take us to a page. But now you can see it is unable to figure the route because we didn't register this page. So to register it, come to myprogram.cs. We had added it, but now we need to register it under the app XAML, not really under the app shell. So you'll do that. So you'll copy the name, then you can have the route here. So you can add the page here, then it should be able to work. So what you need to know is every page that you need to navigate to should be registered under appshell.xaml. So if we just run the app, our app is launching, then the new country button should launch and give us the add new country page from the list. So that is what we are expecting to see from our button. So let's see. So this is the employees. So countries, county. Then if you add new country, you'll see add new country page. It has actually navigated to the new country page. So if you click the back button, it will take you to the countries list. So we can do the same for the constituencies locations. So I'll just be copying this country list. So you can see this is our list. So I'll copy this. So I'll say the countries list. That is fine. So you can copy this to the constituencies. Then we can give the title. So we'll say title, say constituency list. Then this is add a new constituency. Then so we need to bind to our view model. So there's something not going on well. So this is content page. So that is it. Okay. So under the constituencies, we can navigate to our controller. You can say this is partial. Then we can copy the one under the countries. So we can just copy these. Then we'll replace our constructor. So we'll do this. We replace it here. Then here we can say constituency. Then that is our model, the table actually. Then we can add this as observable object. Then here we need to add another page. So we'll say add new constituency. So under the constituencies, we can add another page that will be adding our constituencies. We can say add a new constituency page, then add. So that is our page. Then we need to register this page, remember. So under MAUI program, add it here. Then you can do that. Then app shell. Then you can also register that. Then do that. Then we can copy the same here. So then we need to add the namespace. So that is fine. So under the view model for constituencies, we need now to add the page. And you can borrow the view model. So everything is now fine. So this button should represent what is there under the constituencies list. So should be there, then add the command. So everything should be fine. So countries list, we are now getting from the constituencies list. So we'll say constituencies list. So this is the list that we should be having, we should be borrowing from. Then code and name should be fine. So if we run the app, everything should be fine. So I want you to do the same for all the pages that you have. Something is not going on right. So it's saying, so we have tampered with something. So I'll try to clean. Let's rebuild. So that is under constituencies page. It's failing, says. So we have something, yeah, I think we didn't close the content page here. Content page, that's why it's bringing some issues. So that is fine. Be careful when copying copying code, can actually cause some bugs. So that is how it should work. So I want you guys to to do the same for all the list pages that you have. We are using the collection view. Then we'll now see how you can add and retrieve data from SQLite. So this is the progress of our video based on .NET MAUI, SQLite database, and view models. So we are using view models to bind data to uh, our XAML pages. So let's see. So let's see how our app looks. So there it is launching. So our app is launching. So if we come to constituencies, you can see we have the list. So if we click our button, it is taking us to the add new constituency. So I want you guys to do the same for all the pages that you have. So on our next video, we are going to see how to retrieve the list of records from the countries. So you'll see how to add and retrieve a list of countries from what we add on our add new page. So we'll see how to create the form and add a country. So see you on our next